I don't plan on this fight going the distance. I plan on going in there and getting a stop.
A man who steps into the ring not to win on points, but to physically destroy.
Eubank Jr. trying to hold on. 20 seconds to go. Unbelievable scenes here.
He's got to be able to be aggressive in an effective, efficient way without being recklessly aggressive. That's it. Put a bow on it.
Imagine earning the nickname The Destroyer, not because of beautiful technique or smart tactics, but because of dozens of opponents being carried out of the ring barely conscious, because of knockouts, after which experienced veterans admitted they had never faced that combination of speed and aggression in one man before.
I will smash him to pieces.
He's a pretty durable guy. Benn is starting to land some good shots. Oh, good body shot.
Beautiful body shot.
Imagine a family rivalry lasting 35 years. A rivalry so fierce that it twice turned into a real war in front of tens of thousands of fans, where a son had to avenge his father with blood and knockdowns, not a handshake after the final bell.
I'm just going to firstly say how proud I am of Conor Benn, what he's been through these last 2 years, and I can't wait for him to smash you to pieces on Saturday night.
Wonderful uppercut. Look at this from Conor Benn early in the first round. And Vargas in all sorts of trouble. And it's been...
Today we are talking about Conor Benn, the British puncher whose fists have left behind a long line of defeated, beaten and confused opponents. We are going to break down 4 of the most brutal and insane fights of his career, including the legendary 2-fight rivalry with his biggest enemy, Eubank. A rivalry that split British boxing into 2 camps and gave us some of the wildest 3-minute stretches of the decade. Get ready, because what you're about to see and hear explains why Conor Benn's name alone can fill almost any arena.
I didn't think he was going to get up off that, to be honest with you. He's very powerful, Conor Benn, and he's in for the finish now. And down he goes again.
Can't wait to punch him in the head. I don't just want to knock him out and render him unconscious because it's legacy. It's because it's personal.
Conor Benn, son of legendary British world champion Nigel Benn, built a reputation from the very beginning of his career as a fighter for whom a stoppage was not a nice bonus, but the only acceptable result. Most of his first 20-plus professional fights ended by knockout or technical stoppage, and that destructive style earned him the nickname The Destroyer, which became almost as important as his real name in British boxing. He never feared exchanges, never backed down under pressure, and always moved forward with the clear intention of ending the fight as quickly and brutally as possible.
welterweight champion, the popular, hard-hitting and dangerous Conor the Destroyer Benn!
Even as a very young boxer, Benn constantly faced accusations that his career was being built only on his father's famous surname rather than real talent, and that his string of early knockouts against lesser-known opponents did not show his true level. Every time those conversations became too loud, Benn answered by destroying his next opponent even more brutally, shutting the skeptics up with his fists instead of words in interviews.
Yeah, it's just the norm. We do this every day of the week. What's an occasion going to change? Like, what's with a venue going to change? It means nothing. Because at the end of the day, we do this every day of the week.
What separates Benn from many other British punchers is not simply physical power, although he has plenty of it. Far more important is his mentality. He enters every fight with an almost obsessive desire to hurt his opponent as much as possible in the shortest amount of time, often ignoring ideas about saving energy or carefully reading the opponent's defence. That willingness to take risks and trade even when the danger of getting countered is high is exactly what makes his fights so exciting and frightening at the same time.
People keep saying I can't box and that and I'm aggressive, but listen, it works. It's my style. I'm not a textbook fighter.
So often the best shot against the southpaw, and Van Heerden is badly hurt and goes down with still 2 minutes.
Many of his opponents later admitted that Benn's speed and volume were much higher than they expected, and that fighting him felt more like controlled madness than calculated boxing. That is why every Conor Benn fight feels like more than just a sporting contest. It becomes a test of survival for both men, where the stakes are always high and the price of one mistake can be measured in seconds spent unconscious on the canvas.
Oh, tempers flaring there.
I got that one wrong, didn't I?
On April 26th, 2025, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, in front of more than 67,000 screaming fans, British boxing finally got the fight it had been waiting years to see. The matchup had originally been scheduled for 2022, but was cancelled after Benn failed a drug test, adding even more fuel to a family rivalry that had started back in the 1990s, when their fathers, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr., went through real wars in the ring. Almost 3 years later, the sons finally met, and the fight was exactly what fans expected: ruthless, wild, and with almost no caution.
Eubank for his own left hook as well. Oh, just missing with the right there. Better though, he stepped in behind the left hook.
Much better round from Conor Benn, and a bit of blood from the nose of Eubank, whose jab just hasn't had the precision. It's fought at a much, much higher level. Eubank Jr. as he ships a right hand, and again.
Eubank Jr., the bigger man, tried to impose a physical fight, while Benn answered with speed and aggression, refusing to give away a single exchange. By the 7th round, Eubank was landing more clean power shots, but Benn kept moving forward, taking punches just to get the chance to answer.
Oh, big right hand from Eubank. Back comes Benn.
Great response from Benn.
But can he land it? Right hand from Benn. Sizzling action in the 8th round, and this fight living up to all.
The final 12th round turned into one of the wildest rounds of the decade. Eubank threw 122 punches and landed 57, while Benn fired back with desperate hooks and uppercuts.
Exemplary, but the punches of Chris Eubank have been heavy. Hooks, body shots, headshots. The volume in the last few rounds has been intense. Here comes Eubank. Benn hurt. Left hook to the body.
The judges unanimously gave Eubank the victory, but the fight instantly became remembered as one of the most brutal battles of the year.
The fathers did it twice. Is that something now you want to go get back?
I believe, yeah, I want the revenge, man. I want my revenge.
I'm just going to firstly say how proud I am of Conor Benn, what he's been through these last 2 years, and I can't wait for him to smash you to pieces on Saturday night.
On November 15th of that same year, in the same Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Benn entered the rematch with one goal: erase the memory of the first defeat and finally give his family its first victory over the Eubanks in 35 years. From the opening seconds, it was obvious that a different fighter had entered the ring. Benn exploded forward, constantly pressuring his opponent with punches to the body and head, taking control so clearly that by the middle of the fight, the scorecards were already leaning heavily in his favour.
All over again on the grandest of stages. This is what big-time boxing's about. Live on DAZN. Let's bring Carl in. Have you given Conor the first three?
Yeah, 3-0 up, I think, and we're halfway through, a minute in this round, and he's winning this round again. So Eubank needs to do something, or the fight's going to get away from him very quickly.
I mean, once you've been outjudged by Benn, you know the problems.
Eubank, who had controlled the physical exchanges in the first fight, could no longer establish the same rhythm. He only occasionally answered with single clean shots, but they were no longer enough to change the direction of the fight. The ending came in the final round, when a revenge-driven Benn exploded with a furious combination and dropped his opponent twice. There was no way for the judges to doubt the result anymore. The final bell saved Eubank from a possible stoppage, but the outcome was obvious. All three judges gave Benn the victory, giving his family its first win over the Eubanks in 35 years of rivalry. In 2022 in Manchester, Benn defended his WBA Continental title against experienced South African Chris van Heerden, who had shared the ring with Errol Spence Jr. and Jaron Ennis. The first round was relatively calm.
Conor Benn, for only the second time in his professional career, faces a South. Benn's looking to come in low. Get low on his legs and then come up with his... Good action. Happy to punch with him. Right hand, left hook from Conor.
But in the second, Benn switched on the same destructive speed that had made him one of the most dangerous punchers in the division.
2 minutes to go.
The follow-up combination ended with another hard right to the head, sending Van Heerden to the canvas with almost no resistance. The referee stopped the fight just 59 seconds into the second round, giving Benn one of the fastest and most dominant wins of his career at that point. Van Heerden later admitted that he was shocked by the speed and power of the attack. He pointed out that even Errol Spence had needed 8 rounds to stop him, while Benn needed less than 2, and that the young Brit's power felt completely different and far more destructive than anything he had experienced before in his long career. In December 2021, Benn faced former WBO world champion Chris Algieri, a boxer with huge experience at the highest level, including a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Algieri tried to keep the fight at distance, using his reach and movement, but Benn methodically closed the space and attacked with hard combinations to the body and head from the opening seconds. He gave the experienced American almost no chance to breathe or establish his own tactics.
Plenty good shots, body. A couple of shots in the opening round really landed solidly, and Benn allowing Benn to unload so that maybe he can pick him up later in the contest.
Conor Benn backing his man up to the rope.
American having success with the right hand to the body himself as his guard is pierced this time by Conor Benn. Brilliant combination. Benn really beginning to unleash now.
The finish came in the 4th round. A precise right hand to the jaw sent the former champion crashing to the canvas, completely out of it.
It's been a phenomenal rise. Oh, good 1-2 and he's down!
Left-right combination, and it is all over.
The referee did not even start a count, immediately stopping the fight after seeing how helpless the American looked. That knockout instantly spread across the boxing world and once again confirmed Benn's reputation as one of the most dangerous knockout artists of his generation, a man capable of destroying even experienced, proven champions, regardless of their international resume or years spent at the highest level.
All of them Yanks can get it any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Genuinely, hand on heart, all of them can get it. I'll come over here, I'll fight all the Americans. They're all great fighters. For me, there's nothing for me back home that I'm interested in. I'm here because I want to make the biggest fights possible. I want to make the most memorable nights in boxing. Something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why I'm here, so whoever wants it can get it.
Looking back at Conor Benn's career today, boxing experts increasingly compare his fighting style to the destructive aggression once shown by his own father, Nigel Benn, who earned the nickname the Dark Destroyer back in the 1980s and 1990s. The similarity is not only in the surname, but also in the style. Both Benns built their careers around the same philosophy: move forward, take risks, and finish fights as quickly and spectacularly as possible, instead of waiting for a safe opportunity from distance. That legacy, combined with the younger Benn's real results against serious and experienced opponents, is why more and more experts see him not simply as a promising puncher with a famous surname, but as one of the most dangerous and unpredictable fighters in the entire welterweight division. A man capable of turning any fight into a real war within minutes, regardless of the reputation or record of the person standing across from him. 4 fights, 4 different stories, but one thing connects them all: the absolute, uncontrollable violence with which Conor Benn approaches every fight. He does not look for easy ways out and does not play careful, calculated boxing. He comes to destroy. He comes to erase opponents' reputations with one accurate punch, and he has done it again and again throughout his career. The two fights with Chris Eubank Jr. became the climax not only of Benn's personal career, but of an entire family story stretching across 3.5 decades. And the destructions of Van Heerden and Algieri only prove that this kind of aggression is not an exception for Benn. It is a pattern that repeats from fight to fight, regardless of the opponent's level or experience. That is exactly why more and more experts and fans on both sides of the Atlantic now call him one of the most savage and violent boxers of the modern era.
Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr. together tonight. But Heerden is facing his career, big right hand. So often the best shot against the southpaw, and Van Heerden.
A man whose name on a poster almost guarantees a night of real, uncontrolled madness. Every opponent who agrees to step into the ring with him understands the risk. And yet, there is still no shortage of fighters willing to test themselves against the destroyer, because fights filled with this kind of genuine, uncontrolled violence are exactly why millions of people around the world still turn on boxing late at night, holding their breath and waiting for the next devastating punch.